Halo is a series streaming on Paramount Plus, which debuted last year in March, and I like it. I'm not in love with it, but I don't hate it. I sort of like it because of the Halo elements that the show has. I don't like it because it's really fucking boring at times. As you can tell, I'm a big fan of Halo. I love the games, I love the book that I'm reading. I have this cool Spartan figure that I have on my podcast and movie reviews and whatever. I just think it's really cool. I love Halo. I don't love the show, however. If you've seen my tweets and Instagram posts and whatnot, I geeked out because I was excited to have a Halo show finally, because this show was in production hell for so long. Back in, 2013, when they were introducing the Xbox One, they were talking about there being a Halo show. And yeah, we got Halo Nightfall, and we got Forward Unto Dawn before that, but they weren't the show that they wanted to make. Those weren't the shows they wanted to make. So now we got the show they really wanted to make, and it's not that good. It's barely good. It's passable. And the plot of the show is that there's a group of Spartan super soldiers called the Spartans, Silver Team, led by Master Chief. He touches an artifact after defeating some Covenant one day, which are aliens that want to kill humanity, and he sees visions of his past, and his higher-ups are worried that he's going to discover the truth that when he was a kid, he was kidnapped by Dr. Catherine Halsey and was put into the Spartan program, which he went under military training and became a super soldier. And they wiped his memory clean, and they put a pill in his spine to make sure he doesn't feel any emotions. I'm pointing to this book right here because in the book, The Fall of Reach, they explain the origins of Master Chief, whereas he was kidnapped as a child and underwent military training so that he could become a super soldier known as the Spartan. Whereas in the show, their memories are wiped clean and they have these pills so they don't feel emotions. The book acknowledges that the children know that they were kidnapped and that they know what they're fighting for is to protect humanity. Whereas, after stopping the human insurrectionists and Covenant come in, okay, now we're going to fight for humanity. So the Spartans are aware of that. In the show, though, they don't know their past because their memories were wiped clean. And it all leads to the show wanting to have an emotional core about Master Chief feeling more human than machine. So he's not just following orders, so he's feeling more in touch with his humanity. I point to Halo 4 because that's what Halo 4 was doing. I like some of the moments where Master Chief is feeling more in touch with his human side, and that's the part about the show where it feels like a boring sci-fi show. It doesn't feel like Halo. With the original Halo trilogy and Halo Reach, and, before 343 took it over, you had this giant epic story about the struggle of humanity fighting to survive against the Covenant, as they're almost on the brink of extinction, as the Covenant are just this extremely powerful force. We don't get a lot of that feeling in the show. In the show, it's, they're the aliens, and we occasionally fight them sometimes. Or it feels like we occasionally fight them sometimes. We know they're in a war with the Covenant. And it's so weird. It's such a strange thing because we focus more so on Master Chief struggling with his humanity rather than fighting this giant alien threat. And for a show called Halo, Halo being the Halo ring in the video games, which is a weapon that could destroy all of life, we rarely see the Halo ring or rarely focus on the Halo ring. In the show, there are these artifacts that the characters are after, which will help them find the Halo ring. But we see the Halo ring maybe twice, 3 times. We see it actually like twice, and once in like some hologram where it's depicting where the Halo ring is in the last episode. And it's very strange that for a show called Halo, we rarely see the Halo ring. I expected there to be a much more bigger scale to the show, bigger impact on the plot, rather than just focusing on the emotional core that the show is trying to have. And there are moments where it works and moments where it doesn't work. The moments of the show itself that don't work are when we're not focused on the Master Chief character and instead are focused on this human character named Quan. And I like the character sometimes, but I think her development was really rushed because she starts out as this human character on this planet called Madrigal, which is introduced in the first episode, and she wants to leave the planet. She says, I want to leave this planet. I'm so done with this planet. I want to explore the galaxy. And then when the Covenant lay waste to the town that she lives in, the base that she lives in, she then gets taken in by Master Chief after she gets knocked unconscious by one of the elites of the Covenant. And then Master Chief gets orders to kill her because she doesn't want to talk about the UNSC being good guys because she wants her planet to be independent of the UNSC. And there's also some beef she has with Master Chief because she said she saw Master Chief kill her mother because he was ordered to. But there's a moment in that where Master Chief is struggling with his humanity and machines, or being a machine that just follows orders. And I like the emotional impact that has in the first episode, but the Quan character seemed to be a little too rushed. And there is a thing that happens in the first episode where Master Chief takes off his helmet because Quan wants to shoot him and he wants her to trust him. So he takes his helmet off to show her that he's not this machine, that he's a person just like her. I like that moment. And in that moment, leading up to it, with the Pelican landing at Reach and all the Marines lining up to kill him or to take him into custody because he's disobeying orders, and the Spartans going up to protect him at the very last second, it's a very tense moment that got me hooked to the show. It's just a lot of that tenseness isn't there. Episode 1, Episode 5, Episode 6, Episode 8 and 9 are easily the best episodes of the show because they have the they have the most action. The action is really cool and enjoyable. There's no action in Episode 6, but it does a lot for the emotional aspect of Master Chief as a main character. Although there are some questionable things that happen in there, like Master Chief having sex. That's just a weird thing that happens in the show because there's a human spy who was inherited by the Covenant, and she's supposed to infiltrate the Covenant, or she's supposed to infiltrate the UNSC, and it's just a weird thing with them two being connected with each other because they're the only ones that could touch these relics because of some foreigner stuff that I don't remember in the show. You see why it's a weird show? Because Master Chief has sex. You see his ass. You see his ass, okay? So there's a joke about Master Cheeks in the meme community. Master Cheeks, he has sex. He claps Covenant cheeks, which it's just a human. We don't have a lot of action. Like every episode should have an action scene. Like every episode of The Mandalorian had cool action scenes, but that's because Disney budget is most likely different than the Paramount budget. Disney probably has enough money to make fucking every episode of The Mandalorian look like Infinity War, you know? But the budget for this show was still pretty high, but it doesn't excuse some bad moments and bad script writing and whatnot. Not that the script is terrible, it's just there are moments in it like Master Chief having sex, and episode 3 being the most boring episode of them all, rushing Quan's development. And yeah, there are moments like the Soren character. He is a Spartan that ran away from the Spartan program. I like him. He's cool. And he's talking to Master Chief like, yo, there's this pill in you. Take it out. You know, I can experience everything now. Like, you can't even fucking taste with this pill in your body. What the fuck? You know? You had the book right there. The Spartans have personality in them. They make an occasional joke here and there. They have emotions. In the book, Master Chief struggles with knowing that he has to make decisions that kills his fellow Spartans. Like, he has to leave a Spartan behind in order for him and other Spartans to escape. That's something emotional he has to deal with. Whereas in the show, before he takes his pill out, and even before he touches the relic, they're just robots. And I get it. I can understand that emotional core wants to have that let's be in touch with your humanity stuff, but it's so weird when it feels so rushed. And especially since this is a 9-episode season. This could have done 10 episodes. We could have done a little bit less of focusing on the Quan stuff with her being on Madrigal with Soren. Even though the actress does a good job, her character seemed a little rushed at points. And the Madrigal plot seems so out of left field, yet it seems so important to what the show wants to set up later, because it's revealed that Madrigal is basically a portal to Halo, because in episode, I think 7, when Quan has this vision or something, she sees an oracle go through a portal. And that's led to assume, and if you know knowledge of the games and the books and stuff, that oracles are on the Halo rings and whatever, or wherever Forerunner structures are. And we're left to assume that Madrigal is really important, despite, it not feeling important, except for that one moment. I hate the stuff on Madrigal, except for the action scene and like the Quan-based episode and the first episode. I hate certain moments, like Master Chief having sex. It's just so fucking weird. I hate that Cortana isn't a chip that Master Chief can just put into his helmet. No, Cortana is some goop that gets inserted into his brain, so she's always there. And Dr. Halsey has some weird character development with her, where there's moments where it seems like she wants to reconnect with her daughter, Amanda, and whatever. But then she's like, no, humanity needs to evolve, and I need to do this project where it ends up that Cortana's is just the first start to taking over Master Chief's body, and then that's it. I like Cortana on the show. She's kind of funny. She has some nice moments in there. And it's always nice to hear Jen Taylor back as Cortana. That's cool. And I wasn't upset about Cortana having skin-toned flesh. I'm not upset about Cortana not being completely naked, or almost completely naked, like how she looks in the games. Especially in this one. I like that she looks like she has some clothes on her and sort of resembles the weapon in Halo Infinite. But it's weird decisions like that in the storytelling department that kind of upset me. Filmmaking wise, I think each episode is directed well. Each episode looks great. The CG looks really good in a lot of the cases. There's a scene in episode 2 where Master Chief is flying a Pelican through a bunch of asteroids to get to this rock place. Like this planet, that's like this asteroid planet with a bunch of rocks connected to it. It looks really cool, and it looks really stunning and whatnot. But there's weird moments, like an insert shot of an assault rifle being thrown onto the ground. Why does that have to be CGI? And then there's a plasma pistol that gets thrown down by a Spartan after being used. Before it's used, it's purple, but when the Spartan throws it down, it's white. As if it was taken out the 3D printer at that moment and not painted or whatever, What the fuck? Some other weird wonky CG moments later on down the line, like a Spartan running on a platform to jump on a ship. It looks like it belongs in a really old video game. One of the most disgusting parts of the show actually is a POV shot of Master Chief as he's fighting brutes in the last episode. It's undeniably cool to me. But what's disgusting about it is that Master Chief is obviously shooting off multiple rounds from his assault rifle, but the ammo counter on his assault rifle goes down by like 1 every time he shoots off like 5 or 10. It's little things like that makes me think, who the fuck is actually working on this show? Like, he did not just only shoot off 1 round. He shot off fucking 10. That's something I watched in the last episode and thought, what the fuck? Who's behind this? I don't know. I don't mind seeing Master Chief's face. A lot of people are upset about it. I'm not. But it is rather annoying when he takes off his helmet a lot of the time. I don't mind him being in his undersuit, that rubber suit that he wears. I just mind when he's in his Spartan armor, he just takes his helmet off all the fucking time. It's rather annoying. Because the Mandalorian pulled that off very successfully, with Mando wearing his helmet for a majority of the show, rarely taking it off. And we're still able to see, if he's upset or if he finds something humorous with his tone, or just, him moving his helmet slightly. We can get all that emotion. We could have done that with Halo, with Master Chief, for a majority of the show. He could have taken off his helmet for the first time in episode 1 and maybe a couple more times after, but no, he's always taking his helmet off. It's weird decisions like that. Like, I get if you want to sell the actor playing it. Pablo Schreiber, I believe his name is, does a good job. I don't mind him at all. I think he does a good job as Master Chief, and he's big and he's bulky and he looks dope in the armor. I don't mind him at all. I don't mind the Quan. I don't mind any of the actors. I think they do good for what they're given. It's just the script and the story is weird and for the most part doesn't feel like Halo. I may sound negative, and that's because there's a lot of negatives in the show, but I don't hate it overall. It's an average, passable sci-fi show with some Halo elements in it. And it doesn't follow the games nor the books because it's its own story. It almost has nothing to do with the games in terms of the story. Yeah, it has the story of humans versus the Covenant and there being a Halo ring. But it takes a little bit from the book, that being there's controversy of them fighting the insurrectionists and then they fight the Covenant and how the Spartan program was done. But how they treated that being, it's just they wiped their memories and oh no, they're gonna know what happened to them. I can't get behind it, especially like Dr. Catherine Halsey. The actress does a good job, but it's just that her character development is so weird. Anyways, overall, what I like about Halo, the action is great, the CGI is cool for the most part. The score, not all too memorable. There are some pieces I liked, but it's weird that a series as well known as Halo, with one of the most popular things about Halo being its music, is rarely used in the show. I think it's because Martin O'Donnell has issues with Microsoft and there's like legal issues going on there. And we barely hear the Halo's music from the show. There's two specific pieces, two of the themes used like twice throughout the show. And that's it. But the music used for the show is good. It's not amazing. There's a piece I remember from episode 6 where we see the Halo ring, and it's honestly kind of cool. It gives off this really cool sci-fi ethereal, is ethereal the right word? Well, it gives off this really cool vibe, and I really liked it. Episode 6 was one of my favorites just because we got to see the Halo ring, and that music at the end was like really cool, especially paired with seeing the Halo ring. Adding on to the overall, action's cool. I like the props. I like the production of the show. I like seeing the warthogs. I like seeing the vehicles. I like seeing the armor, the costumes. Every Halo element that's in the show is great. I like it. Every new thing they try to add that has nothing to do with the games nor the books, it's not that good. I'm giving Halo Season 1 a C. I'm excited for Season 2 just because I want to see more of this and I want to see where it goes. But as it stands now, it's not that good of a show. I'll go back to rewatch it when I get the Blu-ray. I really want it. But it's just not... It's nothing that sticks out to me as one of the shows you have to watch. Like The Mandalorian has been one of the biggest shows of recent years. This isn't like that. It's just okay for me. So anyways, what did you think about Halo Season 1 if you've seen it? It's streaming on Paramount Plus. Give it a shot if you want. You're not missing much, but I enjoy it for what it is. Tell me what you thought about it if you've seen it. Tell me if you like Halo. It's the only reason I have an Xbox, really. Tell me about it in the comments below, and I'll be back with more enjoyable content, movie reviews, series reviews, podcasts, and skits in the future. So yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Bye.